In Acts chapter 6, the apostles were faced with a problem. The increasing demands of preaching led them to neglect the needs of the widows in their community. So the apostles decided to appoint 7 men the duty of caring for these widows, thus ensuring good care for the women and plenty of time for evangelism. Now this reminds me of the church today, except today our problem is not trying to find work for all within the church, but trying to do all the work with just a few people. How do we meet the needs of the elderly, who are certainly among us, and reach out to those who have not yet heard the good news? There just are not enough people to do both well. So we tend to focus on one and let the other fall away. But this causes problems all its own. We either end up with churches who are great at looking after each other, but have no newcomers, or churches who have a lot of newcomers, but no ethos of serving. The key is finding a way to do both. For both tasks, serving the needs of the aging church and reaching out to the young are essential. We cannot replace one group at the expense of the other. But how does one do both? By remembering Jesus calls us to make disciples of all nations, not just believers. For not all who believe are disciples. Satan believes in Christ, but he is no disciple. So what makes a believer into a disciple? Time. Conversion can happen in an instant and is the result of one really big decision. Discipleship is a way of life, and it is the result of a lifetime full of decisions that lead to the deepening of faith and a willingness and ability to serve God. If we build a church around this understanding, then we build a church by bringing new believers into a stable community in which all live in service to one another. If each believer is given the duty to serve others, through that service each believer will, in time, be transformed into a disciple. Remember, Jesus came not to be served, but to serve, and it is through serving that we become the disciples we are called to make.